The sky was clear over New York when the Virex ship landed. It didn't crash or scream through the air like old movies showed. No fire, no smoke, no loud boom. The ship just appeared, smooth, dark, and silent, above Central Park. It hovered, there like a question mark. People stopped what they were doing. Drivers parked cars, kids looked up from games, workers left offices. Everyone watched as a small pod dropped from the main ship and landed gently on the grass below. Then came the first meeting. The United Nations had been preparing for this moment for weeks. Scientists, diplomats, soldiers, and even philosophers all tried to guess what kind of beings would come from the stars. But nothing could have prepared them for the Virex. They walked like tall humans, but moved with more grace. Their skin shimmered like wet stone. Their eyes were large and black with no whites. They did not blink. The leader stepped forward. He introduced himself as Zaylor of the Virex Council. His voice was calm, deep, and strange. It echoed, even though he spoke into a translator. "I bring greetings," Zaylor said. "We come in peace." A man named Liam Carter stepped forward. He wasn't a scientist or a politician. He used to be a soldier, but now he worked for the UN as a cultural advisor. He was chosen because he could think fast and stay calm under pressure. Liam shook Zaylor's hand. That was the start. Over the next few days, meetings were held, not just in New York, but around the world. The Virex wanted to understand Earth before they decided if humans could join their galactic alliance. To them, joining the alliance meant safety, trade, knowledge, and protection. But only species that met certain standards were allowed in. And one of those standards was biological compatibility, meaning how well a species handled danger, disease, and environmental stress. At first, the Virex seemed interested. They asked many questions. They listened carefully. They studied human technology, culture, and history. But then came the problem. One of the scientists, a Virex biologist named Tira, was reviewing Earth samples. She found something strange in the human body scan. She called an emergency meeting. "We must speak about this at once," she said. "There is something wrong with the humans." Everyone turned to her. "What do you mean?" Liam asked. Tira stood up and placed a hologram in the center of the room. It showed the chemical makeup of a human cell. "You are made of dangerous materials," she said. Liam frowned. "What?" "The compound dihydrogen monoxide," Tira said. "You call it water." A silence fell over the room. "Yes," said Dr. Maya Torres, a young biochemist who had joined the talks. "Water is essential for life. All living things need it." Tira looked shocked. "Essential? You mean to say you consume it? On purpose?" "Of course," Maya said. "We drink it, we bathe in it, we cook with it." The Virex looked at each other. Some whispered. Others stared at the humans like they had just admitted to eating poison. "This is madness," Tira said. "Dihydrogen monoxide is corrosive. It destroys metal. It erodes stone. It weakens structures. In high doses, it can kill." Liam laughed, nervously. "So can oxygen, so can sunlight." "But you carry it inside you," another Virex said. "You allow it to flow through your bodies? You let it touch your organs?" "Yes," Maya said. "Our bodies are mostly water." The Virex looked horrified. "That explains much," Zaylor said slowly. "Your biology. It makes no sense. How can you survive with such weakness?" Liam felt his face grow hot. "Weakness? Are you serious?" He looked around the room. The Virex were calm, but their faces showed disgust. One even covered his mouth with a glove. "You think we're fragile because we use water?" Liam asked. "You think we don't know how powerful it is? That we haven't fought against floods, storms, droughts, and ice? That we haven't built dams taller than mountains and ships that float on oceans?" Zaylor crossed his arms. "You may be strong, but your reliance on this toxic compound shows poor design." "Toxic?" Maya snapped. "Water isn't toxic. It's life." The Virex did not respond. They simply exchanged glances again. After the meeting, the tone changed. The Virex became colder, less curious. They started calling humans primitive. They said humanity was too unstable to be trusted with galactic knowledge. Liam and Maya tried to explain. They brought charts, videos, even live demonstrations of people drinking water without harm. But the Virex refused to believe anything other than what they already thought. They don't get it, Maya said later that night. They see us as broken machines. They see us as jokes, Liam replied. And for the first time since the Virex arrived, Liam felt anger rising inside him. By the end of the week, the Virex made a decision. They would not grant humans full access to the Galactic Alliance, not yet. Instead, they offered a test. If you truly believe your species is worthy, Zaylor said, then prove it. Survive our trials. Show us why you should be allowed among the stars. Liam stood tall. We will. Maya nodded beside him. But behind them, the rest of Earth waited with worry. Would humans be accepted, or would they be seen forever as fragile creatures who drank poison and called it life? The Virex didn't waste time. Within days, they set up what they called the Galactic Observer Program. It was meant to test so-called primitive species before they could join the Galactic Alliance. Humans were not the only ones invited. Other species showed up too. Some tall, some short, some with fur, some with scales. But all of them looked at humans with curiosity or doubt. Some even whispered among themselves when they saw how much water people drank. Liam Carter and Maya Torres were chosen as Earth's main representatives. They weren't the strongest or the smartest, but they had heart, and they both hated being treated like fools. The program started on a space station orbiting Mars. It was huge, cold, and made of metal that shimmered like oil on water. Everything felt alien. The lights were too bright. The air smelled wrong. Even the chairs were uncomfortable. At first, the tests seemed simple. There were puzzles to solve, strength trials, memory games, and endurance runs. But soon, it became clear. These tests were not fair. The Virex designed them to make humans look weak. In one trial, the room was filled with thick fog that made breathing hard. Humans coughed. Other species barely noticed. In another, the floor shook like an earthquake. Humans stumbled. Others stood firm. And then came the worst part. Water was taken away. Not completely, but only small amounts were given. Not enough to drink freely, not enough to feel normal. The Virex said it was for fairness, because other species didn't need as much, but everyone knew why they did it. It was a test of control, a way to show who was superior, and it worked. For a while. People grew tired, frustrated, some got sick. Liam and Maya tried to keep spirits high, but even they felt the strain. Then came the broadcast. The Virex wanted to show off their new program to the galaxy. They called it First Steps Among the Stars. It was supposed to be educational, a way to teach others about young species trying to join the Alliance, but it wasn't kind. In the broadcast, humans were shown struggling with simple tasks. One clip showed a soldier slipping on wet ground. Another showed a scientist failing to lift a light object. The Virex narrators spoke in calm voices, saying things like, humans are loud, emotional, and easily confused. Their biology is fragile, dependent on unstable compounds. It remains unclear if they will survive the next stage. The whole thing was a joke, and Earth watched it live. People back home were angry. Scientists argued. Politicians demanded answers. Social media exploded with posts defending humanity, but there was little anyone could do from Earth. Liam and Maya sat together after the broadcast aired. I can't believe they did that, Maya said, her voice low. They want us to break. Liam replied, to give up. Maya looked at him. Well, we're not going to. No, Liam agreed. We're not. That night, something changed. During a routine checkup, a Virex technician dropped a glass of water. It rolled across the floor, untouched. Liam saw it. He walked over, picked it up, and held it in front of the camera drones that followed them everywhere. Everyone stopped. The room fell silent. Liam looked into the lens. Then, slowly, he raised the glass, and he drank the water. Right there, in front of the cameras, in front of the Virex, in front of the galaxy. The reaction was instant. Gasps, screams, alarms. One Virex official nearly fell over. Others backed away. A translator bot blinked red and said, "Warning, exposure to toxic compound confirmed." But Liam just smiled. He put the glass down, wiped his mouth, and said, "That was refreshing." The room stayed quiet for a long moment. Then the murmurs began. Some Virex looked confused. Others looked scared. A few looked curious. Maya stepped beside Liam. She looked at the crowd and said, "We don't fear water. We live with it. We use it. We are it." Another silence. Then the broadcast feed cut out, but the message had already gone out. Across the galaxy, aliens saw a human drink water like it was nothing, like it was life. Because it was. Later that night, Liam and Maya were pulled into a private meeting. Zaylor was there. So were Tira and other Virex leaders. "You broke protocol," Zaylor said coldly. "I drank water," Liam said. "Big deal." "It is a dangerous act," Tira said. "You could have harmed yourself." "We don't see it that way," Maya said. "To us it's normal. Healthy." Zaylor studied them. "You are strange creatures." "So are you," Liam said. "But we're still here." A pause. Then Zaylor said, "This changes things." "How?" Maya asked. "The council must reconsider your place in the program," he said. "Your actions today were unexpected." "That's one word for it," Liam muttered. Tira looked at the two humans carefully. "Perhaps we should learn more about this water." Liam and Maya exchanged a glance. They knew this wasn't over. But for the first time, they saw something shift. Respect. Maybe not yet, but maybe someday. The meeting with the Virex leaders did not go how Liam or Maya expected. Instead of being punished, they were given a choice. Zaylor stood tall, his dark eyes unreadable. "What you did was reckless," he said, "but it was also bold." Tira crossed her arms. "We must know if this is strength or foolishness." Liam looked at Maya. She gave him a small nod. Zaylor continued, "The council has decided to offer you a test, one that no other species has passed easily. If you survive, you may prove your place among the stars." "What kind of test?" Maya asked. "A trial of endurance," Zaylor said. "On our battle station, far from Earth, far from help." Liam didn't hesitate. "We're in." Maya smiled. "Wouldn't miss it." The next day, news reached Earth. The Virex had issued a formal challenge. If humans truly believed they were strong enough for the galaxy, then they must survive a series of tests on a Virex warship orbiting Neptune. It was not just a show anymore, it was serious. Back home, people reacted in different ways. Some cheered, some worried. Others watched closely, unsure what to think. But Liam and Maya were ready. They boarded the Virex transport ship with heads held high. As the engines hummed and the sky faded into stars, the two humans looked out the window. Earth grew smaller. Then, it vanished. The journey took days. The Virex ship was cold and quiet. The crew barely spoke to them. Food was strange, tasteless cubes that Maya called space jello. The air felt wrong, like it was too clean. But the real test began when they arrived. The battle station loomed ahead like a metal monster. It was massive, longer than 10 football fields and covered in sharp edges and glowing lights. It spun, slowly in space, surrounded by darkness. They landed inside a wide hangar bay. As the door opened, a group of Virex soldiers waited. One stepped forward, taller than the others, with armor that gleamed like oil. "I am Commander Korak," he said. "You have accepted the trial. Do not expect mercy." Liam smiled. "We don't need it." Korak studied him for a moment. Then he turned and walked away. "Follow," he said. The first test came quickly. They were taken to a room filled with thick fog and low lighting. The floor was wet and slippery. Strange sounds echoed through the walls. "Your task is simple," Korak said. "Find the exit. You have 5 minutes." The door behind them closed with a loud thunk. "This isn't fair," Maya muttered. "We can barely see." "Then we use what we've got," Liam said. They moved carefully through the fog. Shapes moved in the corners. Shadows, maybe machines. Lights flickered. The floor shook underfoot. Suddenly, something dropped from the ceiling. A metal arm swung down, trying to knock them off balance. Liam ducked. Maya rolled to the side. "Okay." "That wasn't in the rules," she said. "No rules," Liam replied, "just survival." They kept going. At the end, they found the exit panel and pressed it. The door opened. Korak was waiting. "You completed the trial," he said. "Barely." "We'll take it," Liam said. The next test was worse. They were placed in a chamber with 0 gravity, no floor, no walls, just floating platforms and distant buttons. "Reach the center," Korak said through a speaker. "Or be locked here forever." Maya looked nervous. "I've never done anything like this." "Me neither," Liam said. "But we learn fast." They pushed off from the edge. They missed the first platform, almost floated past the second. But they kept trying. Maya grabbed a handle and pulled herself forward. Liam kicked off a wall and caught the last button. The moment he touched it, gravity returned. They hit the ground hard, but they passed. The third test came without warning. They were given suits, bulky and stiff, and led outside the station. "Walk across the bridge," Korak said. They looked out. There was no bridge, just a thin metal path between 2 towers, hundreds of meters above empty space. "Are you kidding?" "Me?" Maya said. "No wind," Liam said. "No movement. We can do this." They stepped onto the path. It was terrifying. Every step made the metal creak. Every gust of artificial air made them sway. Halfway across, a sudden shake nearly sent Maya over. The edge, Liam caught her hand. "Got you," he said. She nodded. "Thanks." They kept moving. And finally, they reached the other side. Korak was there again. "3 trials passed," he said. "Many before you have failed." Liam grinned. "Then we must be doing something right." Back in their quarters, Maya sat, down inside. "I don't know how much more of this I can take," she said. Liam sat beside her. "We knew it wouldn't be easy." "Yeah," she said. "But I didn't think they'd try to scare us half to death." "That's the point," he said. "They want to see if we break. Do you think we will?" Liam looked at her. "Not a chance." Maya smiled. "Good answer." Outside the window, stars burned bright, and somewhere out there, Earth was watching, waiting. Liam and Maya had passed 3 trials, but the Virex weren't done with them yet. The next morning, they were taken to a new room, large, cold, and filled with strange machines. The walls shimmered like glass but felt solid. Lights blinked, in patterns that made their eyes hurt. Commander Korak stood at the far end, arms crossed. "This is where we test strength," he said. "Not just muscle, endurance, will, control." Maya looked around. "What kind of test is this?" Korak didn't answer. Instead, a voice came from above, calm, emotionless. Trial 4, Survival Under Pressure. The floor beneath them opened. They dropped. Not far, maybe 10 feet, but into a small chamber with no doors. Just smooth walls, a metal floor, and blinking lights on the ceiling. Then the pressure began. It started slowly. A low hum filled the air. Then heat. Then weight. Liam felt like something heavy was pressing down on his chest. He looked at Maya. She was breathing fast. "You okay?" he asked. "Yeah," she said, "but this feels wrong." They both knew what was happening. The air was changing. The pressure was increasing, like being deep underwater, except there was no water, just crushing force. Liam clenched his fists. We can take it. Minutes passed. The pressure grew worse. Maya leaned against the wall. Sweat ran down her face. This isn't normal, she said. It's supposed to be hard, Liam replied. That's the point. He took a deep breath and stood tall. He closed his eyes and focused. Breathe in. Breathe out. He remembered training back on Earth, how soldiers learned to handle high-altitude jumps, how divers trained for deep-sea missions. Humans weren't built for space, but they learned. Fast. And so did he. I'm fine, he said. Are you? Maya nodded. I'll make it. Above them, the speaker clicked again. Pressure increased to level 5. Subject response. Stable. Then another voice. Corax, you are not breaking. Liam smirked. Didn't plan to. The pressure stopped. Air rushed in. The wall slid open. They stepped out, legs shaky, but still standing. Corax studied them. Most species fail here, he said. Your bodies should not survive this. Maybe our bodies aren't the problem, Maya said. Maybe your tests are. Corax didn't respond. But for the first time, he didn't look completely sure of himself. They were led to the next trial. This one was different. No machines, no pressure, just a long hallway filled with thick green smoke. Toxic air, Corax said. Do not breathe deeply. Do not stop moving. Maya frowned. How long do we have? 5 minutes, he said, or you will be removed. Liam stepped forward. Let's go. They entered the hallway. The air smelled sharp, like burnt plastic and wet stone. Every breath stung their lungs a little. Maya pulled up her shirt over her nose. Liam did. The same. They moved fast. Halfway through, the lights flickered. Then a noise. A hiss. Something fell from the ceiling. A small drone landed in front of them, spraying more gas. Really? Liam muttered. They dodged and kept going. At the end, they found the exit button and pressed it. The door opened. Fresh air hit them like a wave. They coughed, gasped, but smiled. They had done it. Again. The next test was outside. Back on the station's outer shell, they were given light suits and told to walk across a narrow path. Again. But this time it was raining, not water. Some kind of chemical mist that stuck to the suit and made it heavier. Liam looked at the path. Seriously, he said. Maya groaned. They really don't like us. They stepped onto the path. Each step was slower now. Their boots slipped. The mist clung to them, making every move harder. Halfway across, Maya's foot slipped. She grabbed the edge of the path just in time. Liam reached for her. Got you, he said. She climbed back up, heart pounding. Thanks, she whispered. They kept moving slowly, carefully, and finally, they reached the other side. Corax was waiting. You continue to surprise me, he said. Liam grinned. Get used to it. Back in their quarters, Maya sat down with a sigh. I feel like I've been hit by a truck, she said. Liam laughed. Me too, but we're still here. She looked at him. Do you think they're starting to believe us? Maybe, he said. Maybe not. But we're showing them who we are. She nodded. Humans don't break easy. Nope, he said. We bend, we adapt, and then we come back stronger. Outside the window, stars burned bright. Earth was far away, but the message was clear. Humans weren't weak. They were warriors, made of water, fire, and will. The next morning, Liam and Maya were taken to a new chamber, one unlike any they had seen before. It was large, round, and filled with fog that rolled across the floor like smoke. Commander Corax stood at the far end, watching them carefully. This is the final physical trial, he said. Survive it, and you move forward. Liam looked around. What's the test? Corax stepped aside. A Virex technician pressed a button. The lights dimmed. Then came the sound, low at first, then rising like a storm. From the ceiling, mist began to pour down. Thick, heavy, wet. Liam and Maya both took a step back. Not gas, not fire. Water. Real, clean, falling water. Maya turned to Korak. "You're testing us with rain?" Korak didn't answer. He just watched. The speaker above clicked on. Trial 5. Exposure to unstable compound dihydrogen monoxide. Observe response. Liam looked at Maya. She raised an eyebrow. "Really? This is what they think will stop us?" He grinned. "Let's show them how wrong they are." The water grew heavier. It fell faster. Pools formed on the floor. The air smelled wet. Mist clung to their skin. Most aliens feared water. To the Virex, it was dangerous, corrosive, unpredictable, weak. But not to humans. Liam tilted his head back and let the water hit his face. He laughed. Maya did the same. They walked through the mist like kids in the rain. "This is amazing," she said. "I know," Liam shouted over the spray. "It feels like home." Above them, the Virex observers watched from behind glass panels. Some leaned closer. Others whispered. One even reached out a hand toward the screen as if trying to understand what he was seeing. The trial continued. More water poured in. The floor became slick. Puddles rose. The mist thickened. And still, Liam and Maya moved. They danced. They splashed each other. They jumped into puddles like children playing in a storm. "Come on," Maya said, grabbing Liam's arm. "Let's really give them something to talk about." They ran through the room, laughing, soaked from head to toe. They climbed onto platforms, slid across the floor, and made waves with every step. Behind the glass, the Virex looked confused. Some stared in silence. Others exchanged glances. One young Virex officer even smiled. The speaker clicked again. Subject response: normal. No signs of damage. Unusual behavior detected. Korak frowned. This is not possible. Tira, who had been watching closely, stepped forward. They are enjoying it. That's not survival, another Virex said. That's madness. Tira shook her head. Or strength. Zaylor, the Virex leader, watched the two humans with growing interest. They do not fear it, he said quietly. They embrace it. They are strange, Korak muttered. No, Zaylor said. They are different, that is not the same thing. After 10 minutes, the water stopped. The mist cleared. The room grew quiet. Liam and Maya stood in the center, dripping wet, smiling wide. Korak entered the room. You passed, he said flatly. Liam wiped water from his face. We figured. Korak studied him. Why did you act like this? You knew it was a test. Because we love water, Maya said. We live with it. We fight with it. We drink it. We are it. Korak didn't speak for a moment. Then he said, The council will want to see this footage. Liam nodded. Good. Let them watch. Later, back in their quarters, Maya sat on the edge of her bed. I can't believe we just did that, she said. Liam laughed. Me neither. But man, did it feel good? She looked at him. Do you think it changed anything? Maybe, he said. They've never seen anyone react like that to water before. Most species panic. We played in it. Maya smiled. We showed them who we are. Yeah, Liam said. We did. Outside the window, stars burned bright. Earth was far away. But somewhere out there, people were watching, cheering, believing. Because humans weren't fragile. They were strong, strong enough to survive in space. Strong enough to face alien tests, and strong enough to laugh while walking through the rain. After the water trial, everything changed. The Virex didn't say much at first. They watched the footage again and again. Some looked confused. Others looked worried. A few even seemed curious. Liam and Maya were taken to a new room, not for testing, but for talking. It was quiet. The walls were smooth and dark. In the center stood a round table made of silver metal that felt cold to the touch. Zaylor sat on one side. Tira was there too. So was Korak, and a few other Virex leaders. Liam and Maya took their seats, No one spoke at first, then Zaylor leaned forward. "You do not fear water," he said. "Why?" Liam looked at Maya. She gave him a small nod. He turned back to Zaylor. "Because we grew up with it." Zaylor tilted his head. "Explain." Liam took a breath. "On Earth, water is everywhere. It falls from the sky. It fills our oceans. It cuts through rock, it shapes mountains, and we live with it." Tira frowned. "But it harms you. It floods. It drowns. It destroys." Maya smiled. "Yes, but we learn from it. We build dams to stop floods. We make boats to sail across oceans. We dig wells to find water underground." Korak crossed his arms. "You call this strength?" Liam nodded. "We call it survival." He leaned forward. "Our planet isn't easy. It's wild. Storms hit without warning. Rain can be life or death. But we don't run from it. We face it, we learn, we grow." Maya added, "Humans are not perfect. We get hurt. We make mistakes. But we adapt. That's what makes us strong." Silence filled the room. The Virex looked at each other. Finally, Zaylor spoke. "Your biology is strange," he said. "Your world is dangerous. Your bodies are full of something we call poison. And yet, you survive." "Better than survive," Liam said. "We thrive." Later that day, Liam and Maya were shown a new kind of room. Not for tests, but for learning. It had screens, holograms, maps of planets and stars. A young Virex student named Vec met them. He was different from the others, younger, more open. "I have been studying your species," he said. "I do not understand everything." Maya smiled. "What don't you get?" Vec pointed at a picture of Earth. "Your planet has so much water. You say it shaped your history." "How?" Liam walked over. He tapped the screen. "Look at this," he said, showing a deep canyon. "This was carved by water. Slowly. Over millions of years. Water cuts through stone. It changes the land." He moved to another image. A city built near a river. "People live near water because it gives life, but it also brings danger. Floods come, people die. But still, we stay." Maya added, "We don't just live with water. We use it to move ships, to grow food, to clean, to drink, to fight." Vecca looked amazed. "You fight with water?" Liam laughed. "Sometimes. Floods, storms, tsunamis. They've all shaped how we think, how we act. We don't fear nature. We learn to work with it." Vec nodded slowly. "Perhaps I understand. Better now." Back in their quarters, Maya sat down with a tired sigh. "That went better than I expected," she said. Liam sat beside her. "Yeah, they're starting to listen." She looked at him. "Do you think we'll ever really belong out here?" He thought for a moment. "Maybe not right away, but we're showing them who we are. Step by step." She smiled. "We're not just surviving. We're teaching." "Exactly," he said. "And that's what makes us special." Outside the window, stars burned bright. Earth was far away. But the message was clear. Humans were not weak. They were not fragile. They were not broken machines. They were survivors, born in chaos, built for change, made of water, fire, and will. The Virex Council gathered for an important meeting. It was not just any meeting. It was about humans. For days, the leaders had watched the trials. They had seen Liam and Maya face pressure, poison air, cold space, and even water, and survive. Not just survive, they had thrived. Now the council had to decide, should humans be allowed into the Galactic Alliance? Zaylor sat at the head of the table. His voice was calm but firm. "We have seen much," he said. "The humans passed every test. They did not break. They did not run. They laughed in the rain." Tira looked serious. "They are strange. Their biology does not match our standards. But their will is strong. Korak crossed his arms. They surprised me. I still do not trust them fully. But they are not weak. A younger Virex named Vec, who had been watching closely, spoke up. I studied Earth's history, he said. Humans live on a world that changes often. Floods, fires, storms, ice. And yet, they grow, they build, they fight. He looked. At the older Virex, they are not like us, he said. But maybe that is good. Silence filled the room. Then Zaylor stood. We must vote, he said. Back on Earth, people waited. News of the trials had spread fast. Schools taught about Liam and Maya. Soldiers talked about them like heroes. Kids played games pretending to be them. Everyone hoped for one thing, that humans would finally be accepted among the stars. In New York, the United Nations held a live broadcast. Scientists, politicians, and families watched from all over the world. And, in space, aboard the Virex station, the vote began. One by one, the council members cast their choice. Some voted no, but more voted yes. At last, Zalar raised his hand. The decision is made, he said. Humans may join the Galactic Observer program. With time, they may become full members of the Alliance. Gasps came from the other Virex. Some looked happy, others looked unsure. But one thing was clear. Humans were no longer seen as weak. They had earned something new. Respect. Liam and Maya were told the news soon after. They sat together in their quarters when Korak entered. He didn't smile. But he didn't frown either. You have done what few species have, he said. You passed the trials. You showed strength. You changed minds. Maya blinked. Really? Korak nodded. Yes. The Council has agreed. Humans are now observers in the Galactic Alliance. Liam let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. That's huge, he said. Maya grinned. We did it. Korak looked at them both. You are not full members yet. That will take time. But you are on the path. Liam stood. Thank you. Korak shook his head. Do not thank me. Thank yourselves. Then he turned and left. Alone again, Liam and Maya looked at each other. We really did it, she said. Yeah, Liam said. We proved we belong here. She smiled. Not just here. Out there. Among the stars. He nodded. This is only the start. The message reached Earth within hours. People cheered. Cities lit up with lights and music. Children ran through the streets shouting, humans are in. Politicians gave speeches. Scientists called it a new age. And across the world, flags flew higher than ever. But not just national flags. There was a new one too. A blue flag with a wave and a star. Symbol of hope. Symbol of change. Symbol of humanity, reaching beyond the sky. Later that night, Liam and Maya stood outside on the station's viewing deck. Stars burned bright in every direction. Earth was far away, but they could feel it. Proud, alive, free. Maya looked at the stars. What happens now? She asked. Liam smiled. We keep going. She looked at him. Where to? He pointed at the sky. Everywhere. The days after the vote were full of change. Back on Earth, life did not stop, but it felt different. People walked taller, smiled more, spoke with pride. For the first time, humans were no longer just watching the stars. They were reaching for them. In schools, teachers talked about Liam and Maya like legends. Kids played games pretending to be space diplomats or alien fighters. Soldiers trained harder, hoping one day to follow in their footsteps. And across the world, new dreams were born. Not just to explore space, but to belong there. Liam and Maya returned to Earth as heroes. When their ship landed at the New York spaceport, thousands had come to see them. Flags waved, music played, cameras flashed like lightning. A stage was set up outside the landing pad. Liam stepped forward first. He looked out at the crowd and smiled. Then Maya joined him. Cheers rose from every direction. People shouted their names. Children held signs that said, "Thank you for making us proud." Liam raised a hand. The noise slowly died down. He spoke into the microphone. "We didn't do this alone," he said. "We stood tall because millions of people stood behind us." Maya stepped forward next. "Humans are not perfect," she said. "But we are strong. We learn. We grow. And now we move forward. Together." More cheers followed. It was not just a welcome home. It was a beginning. Life didn't slow down after that. Liam and Maya were invited to speak all over the world. They met scientists, soldiers, and students. They shared what they had learned from the Virex. They told stories of the trials, of laughter in the rain, of standing tall when others doubted them. But they didn't want to be seen only as heroes. They wanted to help build the future. So they started training others at a new center near Washington, D.C., called the Human Space Academy. Young men and women came to learn how to talk to aliens, how to survive in space, and how to represent Earth among the stars. Liam taught survival skills. Maya led science classes. Together, they helped pick the next group of humans who would go to the Galactic Observer program. One student asked them, "What if they don't like us?" Maya smiled. "Then we show them who we are." Liam added, "And if they still don't get it, we keep going anyway." Meanwhile, back in space, the Virex were changing too. Some still looked at humans with doubt, but others began to watch them more closely, to learn. Vec, the young Virex who had studied Earth's history, became a voice for peace and understanding. He gave talks to other Virex about human strength, human culture, and even human food. One time, he tried a glass of water again. Just like before, nothing happened, except this time he smiled. "I understand now," he said. Zaylor watched him carefully. "You are learning," Zaylor said. Vec nodded. "Yes, and I think others will too." On Earth, the first official galactic embassy opened in London. It wasn't big, just a small building with a few Virex workers inside, but it was a symbol of trust, of hope, of a new chapter. Every day people lined up outside just to see it. Some brought gifts. Some brought questions. Others just stood and stared, knowing that something huge was happening. Inside, Liam and Maya visited often. They helped teach the Virex about Earth customs. They showed them how to shake hands, how to laugh, how to drink water without fear. One night, Liam and Maya sat together on a rooftop in Washington, D.C. Stars blinked above. They were quiet for a long time. Then Maya said, "Do you ever miss being normal?" Liam laughed. "I never was normal." She smiled. "Me neither." They looked at the sky. "So what now?" she asked. Liam leaned back. "Now we keep rising." She nodded. "Together." "Always," he said. Below them, the city lights glowed. Earth was alive. Humans were ready. And the stars? They were waiting.